Travis Wayne Goodsell. In the church news, yeah, I know I'm up late. I noticed that my body stays up later after the time change on Sunday. It was Sunday, wasn't it? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? Huh. I guess my body is in denial. So 10, so it'd be 9. That's still late for me. I have to get up early in the morning to go running. But having fully investigated the church, found them guilty, and finding that my government will not hold them accountable for their crimes, as they aren't going to hold Trump accountable for his crimes, if you saw that in the news. The prosecutor resigned and said there is sufficient evidence to indict Trump for crimes. This is what destroys societies and governments, when you have a corrupt justice system. And the Book of Mormon warns us of this, of Helaman chapter 6, of those in the secret combination defending each other, keeping each other safe from prosecution, rigging the courts with judges and government leaders, others in positions in the community to keep the secret, as well as Mosiah giving up the throne for a constitutional republic with judges to oversee the laws, as he warns about King Noah and what a wicked king can do in destroying a society. That he purposely assigns people in the right positions to protect them from criminal prosecution and from threats of those who are suffering under his hand. And the church, as well as our government, are doing just that. And yes, America is collapsing because of this corruption. But as I've exposed, that when the church announces the temples, it means they've used our tithing to pay for them. So when Nelson got up at a solemn assembly and announced a temple in Russia, he gave Putin money. It doesn't work like it does here in the United States. All money goes to Putin because he's the mob boss of Russia. If you don't know his history, you don't understand it. If you've never watched The Sopranos, you don't understand it. And so we don't have a temple in Russia. We've paid for something, and we didn't get a temple. So what did the church pay for? Yeah, the Latter-day War, of which all governments will be destroyed. They paid for Putin to nuke the world. Mutually assured destruction. And having made that groundbreaking discovery, that cost me my life. If you've been watching my videos, you have witnessed the church's attacks on me when I make certain discoveries and make them into videos. YouTube aids and abets in this. They did not want you to know what I've disclosed to you already. And now it's too late. The word is out, and they don't care. But now they're going around the world to communicate with governments and government leaders, or religious leaders, talking with other religious leaders around the world in different countries. The latest is Soares in Brazil. So that's where he's from. So it's an easy breezy trip for him. But they're holding around the world religious freedom conferences. And I'm the one who exposed that religious freedom is all about taking away constitutional rights here in America, to overthrow the government and violate the Constitution, to violate the law, so that the church can commit any kind of crime they want to. If the church wants to start polygamy again, they have the religious freedom to do so. That was Oaks in Virginia. If they want to be racist and teach racism at BYU, Brad Wilcox. They want to do it. If they want to ban gays from shopping at the City Creek Mall, they can do it, because it's theirs, and they're a religion. They want the religious freedom to do so. If they want women to go back to being in the home, out of the workplace, their religious freedom to do so, and so on and so forth. Refusing to help the poor, it's their religious right, and they can't be taxed, and they can't be judged. We now know that that's what the religious freedom movement is all about. And now the church is going around the world seeking to overthrow the governments of the world. Gee, that's exactly what I've been telling you this whole time, that the church destroyed me for. And so they're doing a multi-pronged attack. They paid Putin to start the Armageddon War, and yes, as I knew, they used chemical weapons, and Biden is now backtracking. Oh, well, that's not our red line. You know, I know we said that earlier, that if they use chemical weapons, you know, then we'll get involved. But things have changed. They're just going to let Russia do what they're going to do. And the Ukrainians be damned. And so all that talk of supporting Ukraine, lip service. It means nothing now. America and NATO have betrayed Ukraine. They are taking the women and children away from Ukraine and leaving the men to die in war. This is what is done in America. We take the children away from the southern border refugees seeking asylum, away from their parents, and give them the good Christian homes. All single mothers purposely destroy their lives when they were the ones who were victims of either abandonment or rape. And we punish women and take away their kids, forcing them to have the babies so that they can be raised in better homes, as they say. The church used to be involved with that. And then the scandals got too intense, and so they bailed, just like with the Boy Scouts. Scandals got too intense, too many lawsuits, so the church bailed. So, just a late night video to let you know that the church is seeking to overthrow the world governments, getting other religions to do it around the world. Because those other religions, the church will put in their voice as a friend of the evangelicals around the world, or any other suckers that don't realize that that's what it's all about, as they seek to change the laws in their land. And then governments, if they fall for it, will realize too late that, oops, we've allowed criminal behavior, and it's destroyed our country. Because the Book of Mormon warns us of this. Once you allow secret combinations in your society, you're doomed. Book of Mormon warns us. Book of Mormon warned us about the Great and Abominable Church, gave specific graphic detail of how to identify it, and Mormons looked beyond the mark because they think it's a literal history. Couldn't even liken the scriptures unto their lives to find the Great and Abominable Church. Mormons actually believe it's Christians that are the Great and Abominable Church, and yet they want to be Christian? What? Now, that which you falsely accuse in others reveals the same and worse fault in yourself. Ta-da!